Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, my brothers and sisters, we have got to dive into what seems like someone flipped a switch on the wall, and all of a sudden, the gun control articles that they had stored up just for the right time start flooding out from different outfits, almost uniquely oriented towards the exact same thing at the same time. The odds of this are uncanny. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below, and they are all diving after Oregon Measure 114, which is the gun control measure on the ballot in Oregon this midterm election. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Established Titles, and we're going to dive into this. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of the similarities on this one. The Established Title Packs give you 1 square foot of dedicated land in an estate in Edelston, Scotland, along with a certified crest like you see right here. This is based on a historic Scottish custom which will allow landowners to become lords or ladies, and if you act now, you can be in the LOA little plot so we can have our own little fiefdom. This is a fun and novel way to preserve the woodlands of Scotland. They work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for Our Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially change your name to Lord or Lady and get it on your plane tickets and also on your credit cards. This makes a great last-minute gift, and they have couple packs which you can get adjoining plots of land together. In order to give the ultimate conversation piece for that special someone, Established Titles is running a massive sale right now. Plus, if you use the code Langley, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Langley to support the channel now. All right, so I've got a bunch of stuff lined up for you. Everything is always linked in the description box, but we're going to jump through 4 articles, all from different sources, all saying the exact same thing, advocating for the Oregon Measure 114, which is a gun control measure they put on the ballot this year. Enough of the setup, let's dive in, and you just tell me if this is a coincidence. This is from Fox News. Oregon sees pivotal election day with strict gun bill on ballot as GOP gains around governor race. Now, of course, that's the one slanted side of it, but it's still focusing on the Oregon measure. A proposed gun control measure in Oregon would create a state firearm registry and a strict permitting process. All right, let's dive into that a little bit, then I'll show you a few other sources. Election Day has the potential to be historic for the state of Oregon, as Republican Christine Drazan looks to become the first GOP governor elected in 40 years, and voters decide on what would be the strictest gun laws in the nation. Yeah, we're about to walk into the details of what this would do, and we're going to focus on it a lot more, but this is interesting that at the exact same time, they're all hitting the same measure. While voters will have the chance to turn the governor's office red, they will also decide their fate when it comes to gun control, as the Reduction of Gun Violence Act is on the ballot, and we've covered it on this channel, but here's a few of the things it would do. The measure would ban large-capacity magazine over 10 rounds, except for current owners, law enforcement, and the military, and require a permit to purchase any gun. To qualify for a permit, an applicant must need to complete an approved firearm safety course that includes a review of state and federal laws and a demonstration before a certified instructor that the applicant can properly lock, load, unlock, fire, and store a gun. That's just the first part. Here's the second part. They would also be subject to a fee of up to $65, need to pass a criminal background check, and need to be determined by a permit agent to not pose a danger to themselves or others based on their mental state or past behavior. That's not subjective. Applicants would apply for the permit from the local police chief, county sheriff, or their designees. Additionally, state police would create a firearm database, and applicants would be fingerprinted and photographed. Dramatically unconstitutional, but that's not what I'm hitting on right now. Here's the next article. Check this out. Waiting period is baked into the gun ballot measure in Oregon. This is from yesterday, the 26th. That's from the AP. A waiting and vetting period will be baked into gun purchases in Oregon if measure on the November statewide ballot passes. If voters approve the measure on November 8th, buying a gun would first involve the potential purchaser obtaining a permit, which requires a number of steps supporters of the initiative say would save lives. The measure also bans large capacity gun magazines. So AP is kind of carrying the water here. Here's the ballot measure right here. The ballot measure is aimed at saving lives from suicide. In Oregon, 82% of gun deaths are suicides, mass shootings, and other gun violence. Okay. If you're talking about the whole perspective here is just to prevent suicides from occurring, then why are you infringing upon the rights of an entire population with such stringent gun laws? I'll get into that in another video. I want to keep showing you the coincidences. Now we're going to jump over to ABC News. Gun reform on the ballot after a string of devastating mass situations. This came out today. Oregon votes to consider largest gun reform measure on the ballot this year. This is just 3 of the articles that are hitting amongst hundreds that have literally come out, and we even covered 2 of them recently, last night and this morning, on the exact same topic. It's seriously like someone hit the gun control switch and they flooded out. Check this out. Let's look at some of the stuff from the ABC article. Amid a disturbing uptick in gun violence across the country, the political power of gun reform will put to the test in this election cycle. Okay, so you're advocating for gun control across multiple outlets in the same state. No unison here. There have been more than 500 mass situations in the U.S. so far this year, according to a tracker from the Gun Violence Archive. That is bunk, that is crap. Gun Violence Archive is a biased source, should not be cited ever, and that is not true. Do you remember 500 incidents? No, you do not, because it didn't happen. Let's continue. 2 of those shootings, one at a grocery store in New York and the other at an elementary school in Texas, sparked nationwide outrage and debate about gun violence. Yep, we've covered that. We were there. But the legislation talking about the Bipartisan Safety Act, the red flag funding bill in the Senate, check this out. But the legislation didn't go as far as many gun control advocates wanted, and now some citizens are using the midterm elections as an opportunity to make more progress on the issue at the state level. This is the news writing this. News. Take Oregon, for example, where voters will consider the country's most comprehensive gun reform measure on the ballot this year, talking about Measure 114. And the last thing. But polling shows the issue of gun reform has dropped somewhat on voters' list of concerns. As the midterms draw closer with the economy and abortion rights becoming the hot-button topics this cycle, one poll from Quinnipiac University conducted in June found that 17% of Americans thought gun violence was the most urgent issue facing the nation. But as late August, that number dropped to 9%. Which is something that we've seen every single time there's a major gun control push in the United States. The support for them spikes, and as life goes on, it falls off a cliff. That's why they rush so hard, so fast, in a full court press when things go down. And that's what I've got for you guys. Do you guys think this is a coincidence, or is that light switch on full blast and the roaches are scattering everywhere? Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.